Hello, all you creepy crawlers out there. Welcome to another episode of Blowing Smoke Podcast with Kimiko Kusanagi. Today's topic, Jodi Arias. Now, I'm going to make this little disclaimer now and get it out of the way. Anything that I say is my opinion. Okay? And it's no disrespect to any of the families involved. Once again, this is just my opinion. You don't like my opinion? Move along. You don't have to listen to it. But if you are interested, stay tuned. So, light up and listen in. Get ready for this. Jodi Arias. Now, once again, let's state this. My opinion. Yeah, she's psycho. But this whole situation that happened with Jodi Arias and Travis Alexander was a fuck around and find out. If you really look down and look deep into it, neither parties are innocent at this point, okay? Travis may have been a good guy. Jodi Arias at one point may have been a good girl. But between the two of them, they were toxic for each other. And it was a toxic situation, and it was a fuck around and find out situation. So let me get a little more into it and why it's a fuck around and find out situation. So if you look at it and you look at interviews and testimony of other people on Travis Alexander's behalf, it's not like he hadn't been with a whole bunch of girls. He did date, and things didn't work out. He was basically a frat boy. Yeah, he may have done really great in business and was going to these conferences and he was doing well and going on vacations and all that kind of stuff. But let's get to the heart of who he really was. He was a frat boy. A womanizer. Now, I don't believe in any way, shape, or form that, he was into the whole underage scene, if you know what I mean. I don't believe any of that stuff. That was just thrown in there to just make him look worse and worse. So we're going to throw that one right out and never speak of it again. But I am going to state that, yeah, I believe he definitely was a fuckboy, basically, for being in the Mormon faith. And now I did do my research on the Mormon faith because, once again, my mom, at some point in her life, decided during her many stints of let's find a religion, did come across Mormonism, and I did do studying with them. I got all the way to the point where I was going to go get baptized, and I decided, nah, this ain't for me. So I do know about the Mormon religion and the Mormons and stuff like that, and I'm going to tell you right now, he was a Jack Mormon. And what is a Jack Mormon? That's a Mormon who believes in the principles of the Mormon faith and the family and all that kind of stuff, loving goodness and happiness, but in reality, behind closed doors, he does whatever the fuck he wants. Sex, drugs, alcohol, and definitely dating multiple women. So he's Jack Mormon. Now, Jodi Arias, I'm not saying she's a victim of circumstance. I don't even want to say that she's a victim. It's just her upbringing probably wasn't the best. I'm saying her parents did what they could, but at some point she became a rebellious teenager and she never got out of it. Just like he was a frat boy that never got out of the frat boy stage. And that was just two people. Once they collided, it was a explosion of just toxicity. At some point during this one of the conferences or whatever, when he met Jodi Arias, come on, you're gonna tell me that he didn't put the moves on her, and then she got involved, and then unfortunately they kept chatting and talking and stuff like that. Oh, text me, yeah, come on now. And I'm pretty sure that through those text messages, he may have said some things. And he may have came across like he really wanted to be with her. And as naive as she is, and probably a hopeless romantic, and really just nobody paid attention to her in that sort of way enough, and he did, that, yeah, she really bought into it, and she fell pretty damn hard. And then when he changed his story, because I bet you it was one of those, oh, I'm going to change it real goddamn quick. I love you today, and then I'm going to ghost your ass for the next 3 fucking months. You know what that does to a poor girl? Especially one that probably has mental health issues to begin with? That fucks her up worse. He fed some of that crazy, alright? And he thought, oh, well, you know, we can still be friends. He tried to be the good guy route of we could still just be friends. And we could hang out. And she was like, okay, I'm cool with that. Okay, but do friends go to each other's houses and, like, spend the night and fuck each other? No. Was it stated that there was a friends with benefits fucking deal? According to, you know, his side, no. He just stated that they were friends. And that at that point she didn't then seduce him. I'm sorry, it takes two to tango. If you didn't like her, you wouldn't have fucked her. Plain and simple. If you are adverse to someone and they fucking disgust you and you don't want them fucking around you, you don't want to be with them, you wouldn't invite them over to your house, come hang out, and then, like, make out and then stick your thing in her. Come on now. That's why I'm saying, in my opinion, they are both at fault in this matter. Her more so, obviously, because she went extra, you know, crazy and, like, killed him and stuff. But he fucked around and he found out. When he started seeing these things about her that he did not like, and he started like, oh, well, dude, she's fucking kind of crazy and shit like that. Once you start getting that type of notion about somebody, you stay the fuck away from them. You don't fucking contact them. You don't entertain anything from them. Because they're fucking crazy. He still did. He still poked that damn bear. And what happened to him was he poked the bear and he fucked around and he found out. Her craziness, in her craziness, she thought that revenge was going to be the best method. And maybe she was planning just to scare him initially. Or maybe she's just that crazy where she's like, you know, no, fuck this motherfucker. He's not going to do this to another fucking girl. I'm going to fucking take him out. And she went to that level of crazy. And she planned this shit out. And then she went and she did it. And then she thought she was smart enough to lie about it and that she would get away with this shit. See, that's where the psycho and the crazy tend to muffle out the voice of reason of, hey, if you do this, you're gonna get caught one way or another. There's very, very, very few and seldom perfect crimes where people get away with shit. Like 100%. And it's not found out down the road many fucking years later and so on. So I'm just saying, she thought in her head that she was that smart. She was smart enough to completely get away with this shit. And that's where she fucked up. And then going and, like, creating stories and all this other stuff. Like, nobody's that good of a liar. And nobody has the memory to, like, recount every little bit of things that they fucking said, especially in the heat of the moment or during an interview, because you're under stress and, like, stuff like that. And it's done that way on purpose. So then it's able to catch your ass up later and be like, well, you did say this, 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 and this. And she's like, fuck, did I say that? Oh, shit, I did say that. Now I need to come up with another story to cover that shit up. Yeah, no. Just no. You ain't that fucking smart. That's why your ass is sitting somewhere in prison But I did notice one thing. So, like, I was looking at pictures on, I think I was going through YouTube or whatever and wormholing this shit, even though I've stayed with the case since it fucking happened. Jodi Arias gained some weight. So, apparently she's got some money, regardless if it's from her artwork or if her parents or whoever. Somebody's putting money on that lady's books to where she's quite cushioned, if you know what I mean. And that's a little ridiculous. So, also, I've seen, here and there, been looking and wormholing on YouTube, that people have been going to the house that Travis Alexander, I don't remember if he owned it or if he just rented it with his friends, but the house that it happened in. And, taking pictures of the outside. Like, I'm sure that probably pisses the family that's living there off royally, and people need to stop doing that. Like, keep your damn distance. You don't need to go walking right up into somebody's front yard. Come on now. Have some fucking respect. What I do want to put in as a side note, and this is just mostly questions that I have, is when that family did move in there, I don't know about this whole crime scene cleanup kind of thing, but the way they explained it was that there was so much blood in that upstairs bedroom, master bedroom, in the hallway that it seeped under the tile. So unless they had some really good cleaners, then a lot, the carpet and the tile and stuff like that, probably needed to be replaced. And I really hope that happened. But even if it was replaced, blood seeps into some weird places, little crevices and stuff like that. And it does kind of make me wonder, because of the tragedy that happened there and the sudden loss of life and stuff like that, if Travis Alexander isn't haunting that house. Kind of makes me wonder, but then at the same time, it doesn't really matter. If I, in my opinion, once again, my opinion, this is all my opinion. If I was Travis Alexander's ghost, no, I wouldn't even bother to hang around that house. I'd be like, where is that bitch? I'm going to haunt her ass in fucking goddamn prison. I'm going to torment her on end. I'm going to make sure she has sleepless nights. I'm going to wake her up every chance I get. Because even though justice was served and she's in prison, I still kind of feel like it's not served enough. Because she's a little too cushioned sitting in prison. Having interviews, or she did. Maybe not so much now, but she did have all those interviews. And, she dyed her hair and she was able to wear makeup. I actually knew a female prison guard. I'm not going to state any names or anything. But she did work the ward where Jodi Arias was. And she even stated, that bitch is a diva. She acts like she's better than everybody else at all times. And she will flirt to no end with anyone to get what she wants. I get she's pulled away from the general population, most likely. But she just needs to have as little interaction as possible. And then the people that interact with her, come on, man. Stone face that shit. Give her the most hermetically fucking sealed, reactions and stuff that you can. Don't buy into any of that crap. And we have these people that glorify these serial killers. They pick up, the letters and the artwork and stuff like that, which gives those inmates money. Or if they are unable to receive the money goes to elsewhere, most likely to family or something like that. I think that any money that she makes in any way, shape, or possible, and this actually could be already in the works or already done, that it goes to his family. Reparations. I'm going to state this. So I lived in Utah briefly from December of 2016 until June of 2017. Is it 17 or 2007? No, I think it was 2007. So December 2007 to June 2007. I just done confused myself. I digress. Who fucking cares? At some point, I did live in Utah. And one of the weird laws that's there, because it is a lot of open farmland and stuff like that. Let's say you're driving down the road, it's dark, there's not a lot of lights, and you hit a cow. Now, if you hit a cow, you get in trouble for it. You have to pay for that cow, and if it's a female cow, any babies that cow would have made. I think along the lines of what happened with this, that it's, I think it should be kind of along the same lines. Anything that lady makes, regardless if she's in prison or whatever, she needs to pay towards his family for that loss of life. For any kids that he could have possibly had in his life. I don't know. Once again, just my opinion. Don't get all butthurt over it. It is a messed up case, though. Like, just in general. Because, like I said, he's not completely innocent as well. I'm sure he's got some skeletons in his closet. And that he was probably not... He probably perceived himself as a good guy. And everybody around him perceived him as a good guy. But he had some qualities to him, obviously. With the frat boy lifestyle, the fuck boy lifestyle, the way he texted her, the way he treated her. And that all seems to get thrown out because she killed him. Like, he still treated her like shit. If he's going to treat her like shit, what's to say he wasn't going to treat the next girl like shit? And so on, until he finally learns his lesson of how to treat fucking women. He fucked around, and he found out. That's the end of that. Period. He really did. He fucked around, and he found out. Just like she fucked around, and she found out. She fucked around with the wrong kind of guy that fucked her over, pissed her off, sent her in a fucking crazy whirlwind of shit, and she found out. Look where she's at now. So, my thought for today, or my message for today, is careful who you give your heart to, yo. At this point, you might be dealing with somebody that possibly could be psychotic. You might not. But it's one of those fuck around and find out situations. Do you really want to fuck around and find out? Is it really worth your time? Or if if somebody has some mental issues, are you going to go poke the bear? Because that seems like a bad idea. So, the thought of today is don't fuck around and find out. Just don't do it. You know better. Alright, well, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this rant of a podcast today. If you'd like to hear more, like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And that's it for me. Stay creepy like Kimiko Kusanagi. Bye!